So I'm not stopping now. Like, there's no way I'm going to let this fight get away from me. I know how unforgiving this sport can be, and I know that even though I'm on top of my game now and I feel like I'm the best, it can be taken away from you at any moment. So it's going to be just as hard to stay in this position as it was to get here, and I've had that mentality throughout this whole camp. I know there's been a lot of trash talk between me and Baumgartner, but I respect her enough to have trained extremely hard for this fight, and I plan on getting a strong, tough version of her on Saturday.
You say about the trash talking that there's needle, everyone likes some spice. How did it really start, and what do you think now of her? You say you respect her, but obviously you haven't enjoyed this part, have you?
Listen, it comes with the territory. I understand this comes with the territory. This is entertainment at the end of the day, and I think these rivalries are good for women's boxing. So there's that, but I also know that none of it matters. All that matters is what we do, and we walk into that ring on Saturday night. So I've fully prepared myself for a war.
And what do you have to do to win this and pick up another world title?
I have to listen to my corner, listen to Coach Al. You know, he's a strategist. He always has a great game plan for me. It's never failed me. And so I need to trust in him and do exactly what we planned. And the good thing about Coach Al's game plan, if one doesn't work, we have another one. So I feel like at this stage in my career, I'm a complete fighter. I can fight in all areas of the ring. If it has to be a dogfight, it's going to be a dogfight. And it can also be a boxing lesson. I'm ready to go in either direction. I'm prepared for both. I've had the experience, and I can do both.
It's always about what happens Saturday night. Again, this has been a great build-up for boxing, for the sport, and for this historic moment that's going to happen September 10th. And I'm so excited to be a part of something like this. And Saturday night's going to be fireworks.
Michaela says she respects you. You respect her, obviously, as an athlete, as a champion. What about the needle? What about the trash talking?
Yes, you know, at the end of the day, I respect her. You know, she's a fighter just like I am. The trash talk, again, it's fight week. I'm ready to go. I've been preparing for this moment for a very long time. I know that I'm at the top of my game. And, again, 20 years in this sport, this is where I'm supposed to be. She's unbeaten. What makes you think you can be the first to beat her, maybe even stop her? What's going to happen? Anybody can be beat. You know, my record shows that. I have a loss on my record. I did not let that define me. I came back stronger and came back fighting. So, again, I set my mind to be undisputed at 130, and this is another moment in my career to make sure that happens and that my hand would be risen September 10th. Is it another moment, or is it the biggest test yet for you on the biggest stage? Every test is a big test when I step in that ring, but this Saturday is going to really mark my spot in this sport, who I am as an athlete, who I am as one of the best women fighters. And do you think this steals the show? Obviously, we have Claressa and Savannah after you. Everybody cannot wait for that. Do you think this could be even better? They're both going to be great cards. Again, the animosity is real between Michaela and I, as it is for Claressa and Savannah. So this card is just packed with, you know, electrifying energy. So, you know, I'm sure everyone's looking forward to both fights.
Oh, Adam, how cute. When I win on Saturday night. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a great victory for me. I know that this isn't my first undisputed fight. This isn't my first time having a very, very hard training camp and being the underdog. This isn't my first time. I've done this numerous of times, and I've come out on top every time. It's going to feel good to just kind of quiet all the doubters about, you know, this knockout power and the lack of my skill and the lack of my accomplishments or whatever the case may be, because, you know, I've never seen something like this in boxing before. Not the all-women's card, because that's magnificent. But someone who lives off of an amateur win for 10 years. God. I mean, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, it's like they're trying to erase everything I've done in the past 10 years, because I have been dominant in boxing for a decade. Since I was 17. I didn't win the Olympics and then just have a terrible career. It was like, I won the Olympics, I won it again, I turned pro, I won titles, and it's just like, wow, that's still not enough for you guys. Okay. So I'm here to fight against who UK considers the best. I'm here to fight against who UK considers the knockout puncher, right? And I'm here to show you guys that I am a very special talent, that champions are not made, they're born, and that I was born to do this. So that's why I'm here. I'm happy to be here with the naysayers and the doubters and the fans. I love you guys. It's going to be a great show. And you'll all be fans after. I'm 2-0 and all of that. 2-0 in the press conference, 2-0 gloves and off. Going to be 3-0 Saturday. But as far as in Savannah Marshall, the thing is that people write out narratives and they just try to paint me out to be the villain because I'm more vocal. But I ran into Savannah Marshall plenty of times at the Mayweather gym, in London. I've always been cordial. But how can you be cordial with somebody who try to come at you talking about some, they'll knock you out in 2 minutes and 2 rounds and they'll do this and you're not better than them. You just got to the belts before them, like trying to discredit me. So that's where it all started. It didn't just start from, oh, she beat me in the amateurs, I just hate her guts. No. If you watch my T-Rex documentary after she won the world championships, which solidified me a spot in the Olympics to get the wild card, I walked up to her and said, thank you. Because if she would have done terrible in that tournament, I wouldn't have made it to the Olympics. So there is no hate for her. There is no hate. Do I dislike the things that she say? Yes. Do I respect her as a fighter? Sure, but don't paint it out like I'm the one who started the whole mess. That's not true. After I beat up Emma Cozen, she's the one ringside talking about some, if you fight that way against May, I'm going to wipe the floor with you. What the heck? I mean, it just caught me so off guard because it was like, I would never say that to somebody after they fought. So I just was like, oh, dang. I thought it'd be like, hey, congrats. You won your fight. You're getting close to a fight with me and you. You crossed the pond to come over here and challenge me. It just was no respect from her. But then everybody wants me to accept that and be like, oh, my God. Yeah, Savannah, you're right. So that just blew me. So I don't hate Savannah Marshall. This moment is here because of me and her. She's done a great job promoting herself off of me, talking about the win, bringing it up all the time. But I've put in more hard work, and the accomplishments show that because this ain't even all 12 of my belts, but I got 12 titles compared to 1 in over 5 years. So I'm just here to show that, look, I'm the best, and you...